Niels, hi. When
Hi.
when you're working on culture change, so which levels of change do you touch and why?
Yeah, when we really want to measure the impact that culture change has on the company, on the organization, we actually want to touch three levels. So we look at the organizational level, which is overarching. So we want to see if there's changes on the organizational level where we can really see the culture connecting to the strategy and making sense that the behaviors that we're seeing, that they actually contribute to achieving those strategic objectives. We also want to look at the team and or let's say individual level. We actually want to really link. So what I'm doing, how does that contribute to my team outcome, and how is that connected to the organizational strategy? But also we want to look at the systemic level, and that's where our culture audit often comes in.
And so organizational, team, personal, systemic. What do you mean with systemic level?
Yeah, systemic. So sometimes people think that I'm talking about IT, systems, IT. You get the picture. Systemic, I'm much more mean everything that is, let's say, within the organization, but is not a human being. Let's say. So it can be processes, it can be offices.
For instance, recruitment, or
for processes, it could be recruitment. Yes, that's a very crucial one because it touches at least the people that you want to attract, but it also involves a lot of people within the company.
Yeah,
but that systemic level is everything that is, it's run by people, but it's not behavioral, let's say, in a sense.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. And how does such an audit actually work? So when you look at a specific process, how does that work?
Yeah, often we need to look at what the aspired culture is that we would like to achieve, and then basically translate that into guiding principles. We use values a lot of the times, but a process doesn't have a value. A process doesn't behave, right? It's the people running it that behave. So often we use guiding principles. So for instance, if you're, and I should mention two things there. So the process itself should abide to the rules of the values that we have. So for instance, if we say innovative is a value that we adhere to in our company, then we can't have a very traditional recruitment process, can we? That's one. But the other thing is that the content of the process itself should check for innovative with candidates as well. Yeah. And those levels, we basically check. We sit together with the process owner. We have these guiding principles on paper. We do a kickoff. We have key users often there as well. So recruitment managers, for instance, in this case. And we just run them through the process.
I see.
And for each step of the process, we basically assess, okay, process-wise and content-wise, how do these relate to that value of innovative? We come up with recommendations, and then it usually takes 6 to 8 weeks to implement them as well. So that at least these systems or processes are in line with the culture that we would like to have. Why is that so important? So we can talk about culture a lot of times. We can measure it in lots of ways. But if we don't really ingrain this in the processes that you are working with every day, then it's going to be really, really hard. It's going to be an uphill battle to change that culture. So that measurement and the culture audit, crucial to make sure that you're going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think I really understand what you mean. So for instance, if a company wants to become more, that people show more ownership and more entrepreneurial, and then for instance, a budget approval for the department of 500 euros when they need 3 signatures for that is not entrepreneurial. So then you can do a workshop, let's become more entrepreneurial. But when they get back at their desk for the day-to-day things that they have to go through the processes, and then it's not paying out to the...
This is what they're confronted with, and it doesn't work that way. Yeah,
I see,
you're right.
I see. Thanks. Thank you, Niels, for this inspiration.
Thank you.